All right, you guys. Okay, sorry. I was watching Dynamites over here. Okay, 1 second though. Let me go to... Okay, give me a minute here. Okay. I think I could go here. Wish I know how to... see me live without a live chat. Without clicking on the... It's kind of annoying every time I do this. Okay, I think that's good. I'm on. Got this one here. Got this one here. Alright. Hi Shane, thank you for joining. Give me 1 minute here. Where did I... Okay, sorry. Here we go. Should have put the chat up there so you guys could see it better. Alright, I think it's on. That's good. And then I think I could do this. Is this the one? It's not the one. Okay. I think everything's good. Alright, be more, does it mean about more? No, so I was, let's see, I don't know if I wanna to tell you guys this, but it's a secret. My channel used to be called Tiny Investor, and I think it wasn't really a good name. Of course, I was just like trying to think of something funny, right? And a friend of mine was saying like, hey, you know, that Tiny Investor doesn't ring right, and of course it could be used as, you know, something that might be I guess, I don't know, the way he said it, it could have a negative connotation to it. And so I just came up with something like be more. It's actually the what is it here? Let me show you. I'll show you everybody about that one, but how I come up with that. Hold on, let me think. There we go. Okay, here, let me show you. So be more comes from this little guy over here. And oh man, it's a little figurine that I got from a friend of mine who told me that. There you go. So that's where I got my logo from. So it's a cute little video game thing. And I think he gave me one of these. That's why I came up with this. So, okay, let's let's play on that. So it's BMO. And I just like, okay, let's be more and invest better type thing. So I just tied it together to investing and all that stuff. So yeah, that's how I came up with the the name for the channel. But thank you for asking though. Yeah, I don't know if my old video of like when I used to be Tiny Investor is up or not, but yeah, I made video about that. If you want to scroll back to the beginning, you can too. But at the time, honestly, I was just too scared to kind of come online. That's why I'm doing this here, because again, it's one of those, like, you have to get over the fear of just speaking your mind, right? And yeah, anyway, thank you for asking. All right, so who's here today? Let me Let's see. Okay, I think I'm on. All right. For some reason I'm seeing something weird over here. But anyway, so I am going to have a lot of covering today. I might stay, I'm gonna allocate time, maybe an hour and a half or so. So it's gonna be a good show. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So we'll cover a lot, but let's run through the price of GameStop right here. Of course, we know what happened today. If you look at this, it's ridiculous, right? 1.6 million shares being traded back and forth, and I think there's a reason for that. You know why? Because people are pumping this, right? Well, when I said people, I mean it's like the people that are trying to suppress the price of GameStop, right? They always try to find something to distract the masses, and of course there's gonna be people falling for this BS, right? And the SEC doesn't do much to stop this, and of course, like we all know why. We don't have to speculate, right? I could speculate why I think the SEC doesn't do stuff like that. So way off. Your friend is correct. I went to school for marketing. Okay, communication, public speaking is the biggest fear. Yes. But now I work in the finance industry, so the degree is not being put to use. Oh, well, I'm the same way. I feel like my degree doesn't get put to use, but I do like what I do, though. You know, this is fulfilling for me. But yeah, and just learning about finances too is it's I hate to say it's my passion, because I do tend to be like, okay, if I want to learn as much as possible, and when I feel like I learn as much as I can based on my own assessment, I usually move on to something else, right? So and case in point is like crypto markets, right? I feel like before this, I'm all about crypto, everything crypto, right? And then kind of switched to like stock. Oh, I'm all about stock. And now it's all about like, oh, is it GameStop, right? So again, like I have this phase where I'm kind of like obsessed with something. But yeah, as far as my degree, I don't use my degree either. So that's great that you are working in the financial industry. But thank you for sharing, though. The meme coin is to taunt us. Yes, of course. Like I have a theory. I think, of course, we know this. There's a reason why they do this. My theory is that, of course, we're gonna have good earnings, right? Within a couple months here, and they need something. They need something to distract the masses, and to always kind of pin GameStop into this meme status, right? Again, meme, like that terms alone, anytime people come in here and say it's a meme stock, there's a reason for that. The fact that you're saying it's a meme stock, it's already, you're being influenced, by somebody already. Because again, stock should just be stock. It has nothing to do with meme or anything like that. Those are the terms that were created by the media in order to pigeonhole GameStop into, a basket of ridiculousness, right? And of course, like before I knew all about GameStop and how, AMC was used to do that, thanks to Marantz again, those are the terms that empowered people for some reason, right? Oh, GME and AMC and all that stuff is the same thing and all that stuff. But again, like it's all to kind of, it's a weight that GameStop has to shake away from, right? And I'm sure GameStop as a stock, I'm not talking about the meme coin right here, right now. I'm talking about the stock, okay? For those of you, please, if you are into this meme coin, please be careful. I bet you anything they're gonna pump it up like crazy before earnings. I don't know if they're gonna use that money to do whatever. I don't know who's affiliated with this type of thing. Who's the Solana blockchain? Obviously, it's been pumped like crazy since the dawn of day, or since its creation. Right? If you look at the coin here, I don't know, again, like if you do some digging, I bet you anything it's probably related to private equity. The SEC doesn't do much at all to stop this. It should be illegal, right, to kind of pin a company that is publicly traded and to kind of disguise as if it has any value. That's too far, right? And again, this is not the fault of the blockchain itself. I'm not saying this is the well, I should say this is the dark side of blockchain, is that again it's not regulated. I understand that, but it still have some use to that. There's a use case for this, but this is not it, right? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so if you look at Solana blockchain, since its inception, sorry, I can't even say the word right now. Yeah, it's up like 500x or something. It's something ridiculous. No, it's 100x from here. Even it used to be maybe $1 or so, right there. So if you buy it, and it's kind of curious too, like look, right before the GME run up, right there, it's being created. Again, like I hate to say everything is related to GameStop, but it seems like it is. Out of nowhere, you know, SEC just go after a certain coin and not Ethereum and all that stuff, and FTX and that whole shebang. We all know why. So my theory is that they're gonna try to pump this up as much as they can, get as many people falling for this type of thing, as much as they can, and then perhaps use that money to maybe short GameStop or pay off some sort of swaps here in order to kind of delay the inevitable again. And then also too, just watch out, you know, even if we have good earnings, I bet you anything, they're going to try to drive the price down due to this coin right here. So they're going to try to, you know, pump it up and then drop the price of the coin like crazy, right? Dump as much as they can in order to create that negative, you know, sentiment on the GameStop stock itself. Again, to drive volume away from GameStop. And it's kind of evident to today's trading, right? Intraday trading, which is, you know, as it is, GameStop's price or volume is low. It's even lower than usual, right? So again, that's my theory. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but really don't care. You agree or not. Hello everybody. Okay, hi Manuel, thank you. Hi, Lionel, sorry. Let's see. Hey Dynamite, what's up? I love your what is it called? Impression that you do. Like keep like you're spot on. I don't know how you do it. Like, do you study every time you do those videos? It's like, man, like you keep on doing what you do. So I love those videos. But yeah, so I saw your video about the meme coin, of course, right? That was it's ridiculous. I mean, what do you think about the meme coins? Like, who's behind this, do you think? Like, that's what I'm interested in. Let's see. What else do I have here? Yeah, for now, I think, again, just be on the lookout for that. But we're gonna have good earnings. regardless. Whatever they're doing, drop the price down, whatever. Just be prepared for anything. Anything could happen in this world. I guess so. All right, so let's talk about SoFi real quick. Of course, I knew this is kind of pump and dump, and I've been kind of prepared people for that. It's, again, look at this spike in volume, and then the next day just non-existent, right? So again, they're gonna try to bring it down and all that stuff, bring more people in, and I've always noticed this too. Every time they want to pump something and then they drop the next day, they always have this like they always bring Kathy Wood. Right? So Kathy Wood, if you don't know who she is, I think she's at ARK Invest or something. Yeah, ARK Invest. So they would say Elon Musk, like this type of thing, kind of like pop up. I think I saw one that's newer. Let me see. I should have the stuff coming. No, not that one. Something about buy the dip. I think it might have been this one, huh? Okay. Kathy. No, this is 6 months ago. I saw one. Buy the dip, maybe? Sorry, you guys. No, this is not. I might have seen an old video. I should have clicked on it. I'll address it later, I guess. I apologize. I just waste 2 minutes of your life. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so my thought, sorry, it's just frozen for a minute. Okay, my thought was that I think they're gonna try to bring it down as much as possible again here and trap people more in here, right? Of course, people are saying, SoFi is actually doing much better than it is. But again, it really doesn't matter how much they want it to do better. The point is that they have $9 billion in some swap. And I think that's the reason why, when it pumps up, it's immediately come back down. And again, like they have the narrative, short is shorting this and all that stuff. That's not correct, so to speak. Yeah. So far. Okay, let me preface this by saying... Okay, so this is a new one. Yesterday I was in there, so let's look at this. Now, I get it. Their revenue went up like crazy. I get that. That's good. I'm not saying that's bad, okay? You guys, please, SoFi people. But you have to understand this too. So this is the operating income right there. Okay, negative $100 million. Okay, expenses coming up, higher than it used to. There you go. More expenses. Okay, higher revenue, but more expenses. Look at the operating income, right? Yes, it comes out a little. This is trailing 12. So trailing 12, they're still coming short. At least, they come in positive for this quarter. That's fine. Look at the outstanding shares, you guys. How is this making sense? Is this expressed in a million? Is it a gazillion shares? What's going on here? Share chain. Like, what is going on? So maybe this is a typo. Hardly think that it is. Okay. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird number here. massive dilution, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying. So I'll come back to kind of update on that, but I think it's most likely to be a typo here. But let's say it's a typo and it's meant to be only 1 billion shares. It's still like if you were to compare from last quarter to this quarter right here. See that? So let's assume that it is supposed to be this one. And then you are going to do a math here. So they increase by 78 million shares. Is that correct? 78 million shares. Okay, let's see, how does GameStop express? See, it's expressed in $1 million. I mean 1 million. 1 million units right there. Okay. Okay. Yep. So GameStop right now has 300 million. So I think that's how it's expressed. So it's supposedly I'm calling it. I think this is a typo. But if it's not, explain why the stock went terrible. Even though, revenue comes up, by that token, people should be buying this stock left and right? Why did the price come down again? Shouldn't the price be up, right? I'm in Winthrop over here. If you are here today, you should be buying SoFi left and right. It's revenue's up, right? Never mind everything else. Never mind the share dilution, coming in over here. I think the dilution is not that massive. It's 78 million shares. I think that's what we saw. If you do that one, the change would be the percentage wise. That would be 8% dilution right there from this math. Okay, 1 second.
Let's start off with the stock. What's your price target? What's your rating? What's the number one thing you're watching for in this report? Well, we have a price target of $190 on UPS, which is quite a bit higher than where the stock's trading at today. We've been consistently bullish about what Carol Tomé, Brian Newman, the senior management team is doing at the business to drive long-term value creation. Last year was obviously a blip that reflected exactly what you said, Frank, in terms of the front-end loaded nature of the labor deal and the exacerbation of the strike risk and the volume impact. Make no mistake, the labor deal is very, very shareholder friendly if you have a 4 to 5 year view. And we think that will be very clear to the market starting in the second half of this year. With respect to what they're going to report under an hour from now, we think profits will more than double. That bar chart you showed on margin, the third quarter, we think will be a blip. We think margins will be back to very high single digits for the company.
Yeah, margins are very important for a company like UPS and also its rival FedEx. So you mentioned you have a lot of confidence in Carol Tomé. You also mentioned the CFO, Brian Newman. I've talked to Carol Tomé several times this year, and she said the company has a big push when it comes to AI and automation. How do you see AI and automation impacting this company going forward? What are you expecting when it comes to not only the results possibly being impacted by AI and automation, but also the commentary for forward guidance?
Well, this is a company that does, just in the U.S., 5 billion packages per year. It's really hard to kind of even think about the scale of that business in that context. So little changes in process automation and little changes in efficiency can be multiplied by 5 billion to give you the cumulative effect it has on the company's return profile. The key thing here is that this new labor deal, while it does give the union a lot higher wages, which they highly deserve and is a great thing, I think we all know our UPS driver and value them significantly. The key thing is that it does not stop this company from automating its sort centers or anything that goes on within the four walls of its many, many thousand buildings in the United States. So again, this is a key thing as part of the labor deal where they can get more efficient. This is over 115-year-old company. Many people don't realize. And so automation and modernization are key factors in what's going to propel the earnings power forward.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of investors and also analysts. A lot of people are very excited about what she might say about AI and automation as part of this better and bolder strategy. Another thing I know you're looking at is the...
Of course, they make apologies for that, right? Sorry about that. Yeah, I was talking to my mom. How am I going to cover this? Sorry about that. So let's continue with this SoFi thing. So it seems like they were able to, I guess, bring it down to this much. I have no idea what this is, honestly. So cash flow, okay. So at least they're bringing it down to that low amount, but they still have a negative $6.8 billion in cash flow here. So again, it probably has something to do with that swap that they were talking about, the student loan swap with Goldman Sachs, I think. You have to watch, or follow SoFi CEO to know what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, there's a reason why the stock went down in price. And I think, again, those earnings report, before the earnings, there's a reason why they bring all these people in to bring that, pump and dump effect. Like I said, 5 weeks ago, they bring this guy in. 4 weeks ago, they bring this guy in, right? And now that they already got their money, they sold everything, right? That's why you see this drop in one day after earnings right here. To bring people in, of course, like holding the bag, so to speak, right? Pump and dump, right? Okay, so that video, I showed you that for a reason. You have this, okay, so hold on, before I go to that, I want to read Sean here. Unrelated to your video, David Rubenstein, CEO of Carlyle Group, wants to buy Be more, I don't know what that is. Oritless? I don't know what that is. Sorry about that. Thanks to Moran's, he has me knowing all of the nefarious actors of all of the top heads. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I did not... Okay, I had a feeling that there was something fishy. I just couldn't couldn't put the finger on it, right? There's this, I used to have this belief that, money is evil type thing, right? It's always like people who have money seems to have this, the same mentality, so to speak, right? That working class is there for nothing, right? It's like if you're working for people, you have to work, pull yourself up by the bootstrap type thing, right? But anytime there's people who are in power are, in need of help for some reason they get help right away. But for some reason, anytime there's like social stuff, but again, it's like a political thing that I follow. My point is that, I've always think that Wall Street was kind of evil, right? Because again, there's so many companies out there that they would, make certain decision that really hurts working class people, even though they have so much money, I understand there's a certain companies here and there that are trying to do the right thing, but most companies, they only care about the bottom line, right? They don't really care about, the well-being of the employee and whatnot, right? It's a long-winded answer to that is, I hope I'm making any sense today. I feel like I'm so flustered because I got distracted. But let me see. Yeah, Moran's, when I was kind of watched that Connect the Dot series, it opens my eyes. Like, oh, this is how they do it, right? This is how they kind of make sure that a certain company go under so that they could jump on the next thing in order to make them more money, right? And of course they use media like this. Case in point, this is about UPS, so that's a good segue to my points here. I really think that UPS is one of the company that they were pumping, right? A year ago, it went up like crazy already. If you look at the price from here, let me see, UPS. It's one of the company, of course, they make the apology tool right now, because look, the price went down 10% or something or so after earnings, right? Yeah, in one day. So I don't know if it's private equity. I have to look into that or let Morans do his thing. Eventually it might comes to that. But if you look at the price, ever since the pandemic, they've been like going up like crazy, right? Perhaps again, due to the demand of stimulus money, people are just buying left and right, people feeling richer for some reason, right? Or whatever. But it seems suspicious to me that CNBC is promoting it, right? And when it has terrible earnings, as I will show you in a minute here. Oh, I hate clicking on CNBC. I do this every single time, you guys. Like, block your ad. No. So, and then of course they always bring up, oh, AI is gonna save everything. AI is going to be the technologies that's gonna be saving all this company. Nothing will. You know what will? Demand. If people have more money to spend, they will do that, and these type of companies gonna go. It's gonna do well. So now, yeah, are at the tail end of it, meaning that UPS is usually the predictor of what is to come in the next couple of quarters here. So the demand is not there, and that's why they have to lay off a whole bunch of people, after the earnings report here. Hold on, let me see if I could find not that yet. I think right here. No, that's not it. So their revenue went down by 12%, a lot from last year. And then, of course, their net income went down by 50%. Yep, 50%. Imagine if this is GameStop. You think it's going to be like staying at this price? Come on, we all know this. I think they were, so net cash change. If I looked at the, I think I have it right here. So I think their cash went up a little bit, right? No, so current cash, marketable security. Seems like they increased the marketable security. See, even UPS know that marketable security is the way to go, right? At least you are going to make some money on your cash right there. So that's fine. Account receivable went down. Okay, so the total receivable net went down. So from 12 billion to now 9 billions. Okay. How many goodwill do they have right here? Look. $4 billion of goodwill in here, right? Inflating the asset right there. Now, I'm not saying the UPS is a terrible company here, okay? Of course, this is the result of low demand. There's no one has the money to spend into the economy, okay? And so, is this a meme company? Winthrop, where is Winthrop today? Like, let me see. Sorry, you guys. Today's I'm off color or something. I don't even know what I'm talking about most of the time here. All right, so right here, if you look at the net income, this is the drop right there from 2.5 billion to now 1.1 billion. So why am I covering this? How is this related to GameStop? Of course, it's going to be related to GameStop. Why the overall economy is going to retract, right? And this company is important in kind of predicting what is to come for the next, year or so. And this is directly consumer saying, hey, we're running out of money. So the fact that they're shipping, less goods and services, less goods to people, that means consumer is not buying as much as the people are telling you on the media. That hey, this it's probably just AI. It's probably just just one sector of the company here. Nothing to see, nothing to hear here. Let me finish up what this guy is telling. Let me rewatch this with you guys. I'm so sorry, you guys.
$90 on UPS, which is quite a bit higher than where the stock's trading at today. We've been consistently bullish about what Carol Tomé, Brian Newman, the senior management team is doing at the business to drive long-term value creation. Last year was obviously a blip that reflected exactly what you said, Frank, in terms of the front-end loaded nature of the labor deal and the exacerbation of the strike risk and the volume impact. Make no mistake, the labor deal is very, very shareholder friendly if you have a 4 to 5 year view. And we think that'll be very clear to the market starting in the second half of this year. With respect to what they're going to report under an hour from now, we think profits will more than double. That bar chart you showed on margin, the third quarter, we think will be a blip. We think margins will be back to very high single digits for the company.
Yeah, margins are very important for a company like UPS and also its rival FedEx. So you mentioned you have a lot of confidence in Carol Tomé. You also mentioned the CFO, Brian Newman. I've talked to Carol Tomé several times this year, and she said the company has a big push when it comes to AI and automation. How do you see AI and automation impacting this company going forward? What are you expecting when it comes to not only the results possibly being impacted by AI and automation, but also the commentary for forward guidance?
Well, this is a company that does, just in the U.S., 5 billion packages per year. It's really hard to kind of even think about the scale of that business in that context. So little changes in process automation and little changes in efficiency can be multiplied by 5 billion to give you the cumulative effect it has on the company's return profile. The key thing here is that this new labor deal, while it does give the union a lot higher wages, which they highly deserve and is a great thing, I think we all know our UPS driver and value them significantly. The key thing is that it does not stop this company from automating its sort centers or anything that goes on within the four walls of its many, many thousand buildings in the United States. So again, this is a key thing as part of the labor deal where they can get more efficient. This is over 115-year-old company. Many people don't realize. And so automation and modernization are key factors in what's going to propel the earnings power forward.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of investors and also analysts. A lot of people are very excited about what she might say about AI and automation as part of this better and bolder strategy. Another thing I know you're looking at is the general rate increase by UPS this year. It's almost 6%. But I do have a question for you. Is that going to be a test for UPS? They lost about 1 million packages a day during the labor negotiations, most of that to FedEx. This increase in pricing, will this be a test of not only their pricing power, but just how much customer stickiness they really have?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I think the biggest thing that Carol Tomé, the philosophy change that she's brought to this company is really about not giving up price for more volume. The general rate increase is a headline grabber, but it's rather been the rule as opposed to the exception. The question is the company's fidelity to that general rate increase. And, we just recently saw what they did with their fuel surcharge mechanism. Generally, we think price discipline is extremely strong in UPS and FedEx, and that is a huge 180-degree change in terms of willing to give up volume for price discipline. The last thing I'll say on this, Greg, we are forecasting a 30% increase sequentially in UPS's volumes from 3Q to 4Q. So while we talk about the million packages being lost, we talk about all that difficulty during the strike risk phase of this company. That is wholly in the rearview mirror, and we think that volume growth will be better as we move forward.
Sorry. So he was saying that the volume would be better. I don't know about that. Of course, like maybe in a couple of years, not right now, obviously. But anytime CNBC, promoting something or at least have some positive thing to say about a very terrible earnings, I get very skeptical on that. And again, it might just be my brain here, having a I don't know, I guess bias towards CNBC. Of course, just the way that, media is putting right in front of you. So yeah, this is a terrible earnings. And just like I said, people are like these type of people are telling you, hey, this is not a concern. It is a concern, right? And I don't care if you have AI to try to save this company. Again, I'm not saying this company is going under or anything like that, but I'm just saying that perhaps the downturn is coming even faster. Like if you look at the stock price right here, I'm sure they're trying to get many people to trapped in this company right here. Let me see. So where is the price is going to fall to? I don't know. Let's go here. How about that? Just my prediction here. You hear it here first. No, I don't know. Again, I don't know where the price is going to be, but I think it's gonna break this support right here due to the economy. It has nothing to do with the technical analysis or anything like that. Technical does maybe a short-term prediction. You could predict the short term, but overall economy is not going to be a good thing for the shipping company here. AI is too late to the game. AI has been around for a long time. Like it's we're using AI right now. Every single year. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And they're pumping it. They're pumping it up right now, making an apology for terrible earnings, for recent earnings right here. Imagine if this is the number of GameStop. Do you think they're gonna come out here and say, "Oh, it's actually AI that's gonna save GameStop from all the calamities that's happening?" But since they're supporting, or at least I bet you anything, whoever own this network probably have a lot of shares of UPS to sell to the public. So therefore, they have to prop it up some way, somehow. Right? Yeah, again, I'm skeptical. Right, if you... Wait, did you see Meta hit $400? Really? I did not see that today. I don't follow Meta. I'm sure I wouldn't... I would not be surprised. Yeah, of course. Of course. It's tech, right? High tech stock. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Congress people owning this. They have to. Or Mark Zuckerberg just, agreed to sell his soul to the devil type of thing. I don't know. I'm just joking, you guys. But there's no rhyme or reason for this company to be trillions of dollars. Makes no sense at all. But hey, enjoy. If you're in here, that's great for you. Good for you. Just keep on buying that stock. So, is it overvalued? I don't know. I haven't even do the analysis on this yet, on their earnings. I'm kind of curious now. So let me look at it. Did they have an earnings or something? Go by. Yeah, $1 trillion market cap. It's ridiculous. Insider, less than 1%, non-existent. Institutional owns most of it. Of course, they're gonna pump it up, right? Seems like they kind of have to at this point. And that's kind of curious to me too. Perhaps again, it's just the pump to get people excited about it. It's like, oh, tax rally and all that stuff. Fed speech is tomorrow. I think, there's, I don't know, there's a lot of expectation that they're going to cut a rate or, at some point, but I don't know what he's going to do. Obviously, he was signaling last meeting that he's going to think that they're thinking about cutting, but are they going to do that? That's remain to be seen until they come up tomorrow. We'll see, right? So just be prepared for anything. Price might drop from that if he's decided to raise the rate and surprise the market that way. Okay, so this is Meta, by the way. Sorry, I'm kind of sidetracked today. Do not have a coherent thought in my mind right now. Okay. Kind of all over the place. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, they have good scores, good balance sheets. I'm not knocking on this at all. I'm just saying that really $1 trillion. So if you look at, I know high tech usually have this type of thing, like price to earnings. 35 price to earnings. What is the book value for this one? Right here, 7 times. Okay, price to book 7. I think GameStop is at 4, right? But again, GameStop is not a high-tech company yet. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm just saying it's retail for now. Retail for now. Oh, no. I'm looking for right here, price to book. It's a lot better than Meta. Okay, Meta. Okay, PE ratio, of course, remain to be seen because we're still in the negative, but not for long. So we will be fine. We will see about the earnings. That's good. Okay, let me go back to Meta real quick. So debt to equity, that's pretty low. That's actually very good. Meta is good right there. In terms of debt to equity, right? So the lower the debt, the better. They actually have better, debt to equity than GameStop, so that's good. Yeah, I think it's a solid company to park your money in, and I'm sure people think the same way. But I just think that, again, if you want to grow in this environment, you're not gonna, I don't think it's gonna be a $10 trillion company. It just takes a lot of money to get to that point. Are you gonna get rich off of Meta? I don't think so. I don't think they could 10x it from here. in the next 10 years, right? But who knows? I might be wrong on that, right? So that's just my thought here. Right, if there is any resemblance of recession, the shipping carrier would hit first. Baltimore go. Oh, that's the baseball. Okay, sorry, Shane. I'm not a sport fan, so I don't know what that was. Okay, so I mean, gotcha. No wonder I didn't get that reference. But yeah, I mean, people buy into a whole bunch of, teams. And I think Moran's was talking about how, all of the sport are rigged, and people who bet on the sport, of course, that's how they make money as well. Like, it wouldn't be far-fetched. If they could manipulate the whole stock market, don't you think they're going to manipulate the outcomes of the game result as well, right? Yeah, it's like, I think that they told certain team to lose, right? At some point, I think I saw some interview about that, and it was kind of like eye-opening too. That everything that you seem to think that it's fair and square, they're not. They're being fixed. But yeah, that's why sport usually I don't follow that. It's just, to me, it's just a waste of time. I'm sorry to say. Unless you're playing with your friends and all that stuff, that's actually a good use of your time. So a better use of your time rather than just betting on a certain sport, a certain team to win and all that stuff. It's good to cheer too, I guess. That's why it's so popular among people. UPS layoff worker, is that good for Amazon? I'm not sure. Thank you for joining. I don't know. Is that good for Amazon? I don't think so. Okay. I know Amazon is the behemoth, right? But I think at some point they're gonna get hit because of the economy as well. Nobody have the money to buy anything, so it's gonna affect everybody. I think, including GameStop, to be honest. But of course, we don't have the footprint of Amazon to worry about it too much, right? Because we're operating at a lean operating at a very low cost here. So, and I'm sure, because of the whole economy, and I'm sure Ryan Cohen knows this ahead of time. That's why he's been trying to cut as much as he can, right? So that he at least have the ability to survive this downturn. And it's going to be from what I'm hearing, I might be wrong, knock on wood. But if UPS could drop in one earnings call 50% of the revenue, I think you should be at least take notes, okay? Take notes, because that is massive, you guys. Like, that's not something to be like, oh, consumer just have, just taking a break. This is just a little tiny break here. No, I mean 50%. I think more to come, though. More to come. And with all of this job layoff too, other companies gonna follow suit. And like I said, if the layoff happened today, it's not going to affect the economy until a couple more months to go, right? Again, because if you think about it, if you get laid off today, right, you might have some saving left to kind of help you look for another job. Now, if you're a good saver, you probably have more time to do that. But I think most people don't even have an emergency fund for 6 months, and so those people are gonna get hit or struggle, shorter in a shorter duration of time. So they might only have 3 months instead of 6 months. Depends on how much savings they have as a family, and how aware are they about the economy and all that stuff too. So that's why it's so important to have at least some emergency fund for stuff like that to happen. If stuff like that happened to you, you at least have 6 months of emergency fund. Yep. And especially for people who invest in the stock market, this is how you're not losing your share, right? If you're over leveraging yourself, you might have to sell your share in order to survive, and that's not how investing should work. If you I keep doing this. What the heck? There you go. Yeah, that's why I tell people as many people as I can, to prepare them ahead of time for the downturn here. And if we go through this in GameStop and all that stuff without selling shares, you're making it at the tail end of things, right? So that's why, maybe in a couple of years, even with the earnings that we have, good earnings, I know that Dynamite just say GMA is gonna have great earnings, which I expect as well. But with all of this shenanigans about the meme coin and all that stuff, I feel like it's gonna dampen the result, right? They're gonna pump that meme coin like crazy when the earnings coming, right? And it's evident, why? Because of the volume today, really low, because people are sheeple, right? They're just following whatever, the meme coins and all that stuff, and then they're gonna use that status as a meme coin. Look at the meme coins. Look at GME meme coin. It doesn't do well because this is our shitty company, right? It's like the same BS that we have to combat, but only the people who own the stock will benefit, will reap the benefit later on. And who knows how long that's gonna be. I'm here for it though. However long it's gonna play out, it's gonna play out. So either way, whichever result is going to happen, I'm happy with. If they want to keep GameStop stock down, okay, more power to them, right? So I'm excited though, whatever results happen. Okay, Dynamite. My sister has Meta. Okay. I know, she's killing it at this moment, right? She had Nvidia, she had, Meta. That's good, yes. I hope she bought at a lower price though, that's good. Not sure if I'm going to be more. Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry, I have no coherent thoughts here. I know Shane's been here for a while, I'm sure. He's like, what am I listening to? But I appreciate all of you just joining Dynamite, North Star. Yeah. But how are you guys thinking about this meme coin coming out a couple of days ago here? It seems... Okay, so this is Moran's here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. My mom's on the phone. Let me... Sorry. Okay. There. Oh, Windrub is here. Welcome. GameStop corporate as well as regulator needs to shut that coin down right now. I know, of course. Like, the SEC is supposed to be the regulator of the stock market, and they're not regulating. So, of course, again, there's a reason why these people are so emboldened to make stuff like this, right? And I don't think it's the fault of GameStop as a company. but it's a fault of the regulator. If anything, yes, I'm sure GME is aware of this, and I'm sure they're gonna make some statement. I hope soon, right? But the one that is supposed to be the cops on the street here are the SEC, or FINRA or whoever, right? But I think there's a reason why they're so emboldened for that. It's because they're playing in the same pool of cutting from the same cloth here, right? Somebody made money off of it. Therefore, they're not gonna shut it down until it's too late already. Until like, oh, oops, we didn't know it exists, right? It seems. And man, like even like in the publication, it's like you think that these people are not aware of it. Of course they're aware of it. Perhaps this is the only way for them to suppress the price of GameStop on the earnings, upcoming earnings, right? And so, like I said, there's so many shenanigans that happens, and nobody seems to care, right? And they just keep honing on that narrative. It's a shit coin. It's a shit company. It's a shit co. It's a shit meme coin, and all that stuff. And on all the while, you just glaze all over the reputation of GameStop. And you have people like that, who, like Camelot's guy, right? He lied about it, right? The reason why? Because for clicks and views. And God knows who paid him to continue, the GameStop. I'm sure Super Chat and all that stuff too. Again, they do it for a reason, and I'm sure this coin is for a reason as well. Yep. So Winthrop here. What do you mean they? Suppress the price of GME. That's cute. Okay. I mean, what is your assessment on that? Why did they create this coin and try to pin it to like GameStop right here? It's like there's no reason for it, right? Do they just do that out of no? It's like, oh, let me just just make this coin out of nowhere. Remember the FTX too? So then force a settlement to make them pay GameStop Core for damage, as well as then we can add the settlement to, right. Legal should put something out immediately, and it should be reported to the SEC or the financial regulator to get it shut down ASAP. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I'm sure they're just, I don't know. I agree. FTX did the same thing. Nothing happened. Well, yeah, that's why I'm telling you. They're just cutting from the same cloth. They don't care. It's like, why do you laugh? I mean, it's my theory, obviously, and there's no reason to write this article saying as if it's the same thing as GameStop, the stock, right? And who owns this publication? Who owns this? You could trace it back. You could do your own homework, right? I have my assumption, and I'm sure the reason why I assume that is because it's happening over and over and over again. You have people like yourself coming in here saying it's a shit company for no apparent reason whatsoever, right? And then you told, anyway. I guarantee you that they're also using it as so they can short, GME, as well as use it for overextended margin liquidity. Yeah, I'm sure there's a purpose for it. There's a purpose. And of course, to suppress the good earnings to come, right? We're going to turn profitable for the first time. And we'll see how it plays out, but I guarantee you they're going to be like, this is not a good earnings. This is just nothing, right? This is only one quarter. I bet. Watch. Like, revenue's down by 100 million, but they nothing, right? They aren't shorting GameStop though. Who's not? Like, there's a 22%. Okay, there's 22% short interest. You mean Solana? I never said Solana was shorting GameStop. Like, what? They probably use it for locates to do more shorting. Right? That should be illegal. I'm sure they're just, again, a money grab thing, right? How many people are falling for this? And I've already seen a lot of video being pumped up already, right? 300% up in 24 hours, right? It's like one of those things. And again, they're going to pump it up with the positive earnings. So, okay, there are hardly any ETF, FTDs. So, there's still short interest, right? Just because there's no ETF or I don't know what you mean, ETF or FTD. Like failed to deliver, you mean? There's tons of shares being shorted, so. AKA not shorting. What? Well, there's still short interest, so. The idea short position are still open is comical at best. What? What source are you reading? Windrop? Are you kidding me? Show me that there is no short interest in this company. Like, what source are you using? Please, because I would love to see that. I understand the FTD things. There's no new FTDs. Sure, perhaps, right? But there's still shares being shorted onto the company. Why am I not able to click on this? GameStop short interest. So are you saying that that's not an open short position right here? What is this that I'm seeing? Explain to me, Windrop, please. Not one person here believed that GameStop is not shorted to the extreme abusive stop lying, dude. You're buying into your BS. Short position are not held for years. That's a lie. Okay, so what is this? What does short interest mean? Please enlighten me. Because I really want to know what your source is. Short interest is not what you mean, like it's not held for years? Are you aware of swaps? Like credit default swap or whatever. They could swap it in and out. Like they could shift the risk in and out. It's like, and they could do it for years. It happened. But this is only reported short interest. So what is this? I'm sure there's new shorts every time. Keep adding to this. It used to be 20%. Okay, if you go to my old video, 21% or something like that. So short position is being added every single day. So it's ridiculous that you're saying that, oh, it's a lie or whatever. Well, what is this? Explain to me. What source do you use to tell you that there's no open short position ever? RIJ Plus in 2022, they passes a rule that shorts can't close during the pre-market and after hour. Short can close. Yeah, they do that to cheat retail investor. They do that to save their ass. Do you think if this is owned by the institution and it's being shorted like this, they would let it go? They would halt it like that? It's like, come on, it's ridiculous. Who said I've never said it's being shorted to thousands of percent, Windrop. It's like, what the heck? Are you like, what? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that who knows what the additional thing is. All I'm seeing here is the short interest being shorted in 22%. 22% is a lot of shares, okay? Look, 60 million shares. Go ahead. Go buy it on the open market right now. Do you realize that the volume today is 1.6 million shares being traded? Right? So again, I've never said 1,000% being shorted. Right? I could speculate that it is because of the whole thing. Right? It's my speculation that it might be more, but I'm happy with this. Really, you know. It is still being shorted. How can anyone argue with the price of almost $50 pre-split dividend, the large amount of cash on hand, and no long-term debt? I know, like, even without the short interest percentage here, the companies would do well with just the price alone, right? It's a good company, but again, it's being dragged down by people like this, who thinks that we're just here for the squeeze. We're just here to see the demise of some, institutions and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like, that's the narrative that the media wants you to believe, right? But that doesn't mean, that GameStop doesn't go through all that, right? Think about it. Like, just take a note on every single time any financial big media is out there covering GameStop. Take notes of how they're doing it, right? And that alone should tell you something, right? And again, like the same way when they cover SoFi, when they cover UPS right here today, right? I'm telling you, it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's AI. It's gonna, it's the earnings. It's behind the rear view window type things. Like, just look forward, right? Look forward. The earnings gonna be a lot better, right? But when it comes to GameStop, oh look, GameStop is terrible 12 years ago. So that alone should tell you something. I don't know. Again, if you don't see the difference between the coverage, no wonder you still think it's a shit company, with all of that amazing things that they've been doing, right? So I know I have like Ryan Cohen. He looks kind of evil over there. Sorry about that. How did they get that cash? What do you mean, how did they get that cash? They sold share to retail investor, and they have been maintaining that cash. It's like, what are you talking about? They did a smart thing. And now that cash is going to be in the book forever until the end of time, right? Until Brian Cohen's like, okay, let's give some more dividend because we have too much cash right now. See what I mean? So the reason why they did that is because that's what saved the company. Yes, I get that. And I think that's what you're alluding to. It's like, oh, it's dilution. It's like, well, 5 million shares to get 1.2, I think $1.1 billion actually. So, and they're able to pay off debt. They're, making the balance sheet a lot stronger. Building infrastructure, the e-commerce, platform and all that stuff, so that you could shop easily. If you look at the, let me see. If you look at the company, if you look at the, it's like all of this takes effort, and to make the website easily shopped. Like people could easily find their items, whatever they want to find, very easy. I'm sure checkout the same way, and of course, you're gonna get more perks if you're being a member of this company. Sean, almost $6. We know there is way more synthetic over the legal issues. Oh, issue float. Sorry, as well as we ain't fool. Okay, this is synthetic. I know, but since I don't know, there's no evidence for me to look into it. Again, Jay, I know I could speculate that yes, because of the shenanigans that happens, right? The volume dried out, and every time. Let's look at the chart exchange here. All of that stuff, I could only speculate, and of course, I could, kind of extrapolate from all of the shenanigans that happen to GameStop. There's something fishy here at the very least, right? The only data that I could go by is what I see right here being reported, right? So even that, it's still egregious, in my opinion. 22% of the company is being shorted. So that's all I'm willing to say at this moment in time. But let's look at the short volume for today. Look. Total reported short right here is 71%, right? And 62% is off exchange. There you go. I mean, how can you explain that? Every single time, right? Millions of shares is reported short right there. So how do they close? Maybe after hours, like what Job is saying. But again, what if people never sell? And they just sell among each other, right? 1 penny at a time. It's ridiculous. Is this how free market should work out? Yeah. So today alone, it was 750,000 shares being shorted. When the total volume reported was 1.0, not even 1.6. I don't know where TradingView gets their data from, right here. 1.6 million shares right there. So, yeah, that's all I could tell. But yeah, as far as being short more, synthetic and all that stuff, it's possible that it's still there. But I'm not willing to say that unless I see it right in front of my face. It's hard to find that. Jamie is going to show infinite free cash flow for here out. Watch and see. I know, yeah, the company's doing well, so the share price have to reflect at some point, right? But people will misprice it until, they can't misprice it anymore, right? it could happen for years and years, because people are, kind of slow to realize a certain company is actually a good company because of the media, obviously, right? There's an onslaught of attack. There's an onslaught of, people just not believing it until it's too late for them to believe already. Just like Bitcoin, right? It took Bitcoin, 20 years to gain this notoriety? So GameStop might take that long. Who knows, right? But, I'm glad that I found GameStop at this price point, right? So we'll see. We'll see how long it's going to take for people to realize that. Like, Infinite, oh, you believe synthetic shares are real? Explain a lot. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna outsource that to Jay. Only a smart measly 5 million shares 2 to 3 years ago. Yeah, and haven't sold a single share since. Been loyal to the investor as well as leaders buying shares with their own money, chairman working for free. Read the comment below that one. Read the comment below that one. Wait, which one? Sorry, Jay, I'm kind of like lost in this discussion right here. So they raised $2 billion with that offering. What do you mean $2 billion? Where did you get this from? Oh my God. Okay, so let's see. No wonder, like, what misinformation website you go to? Okay, Jay, I might just need your help here. I think it's $1.1 billion now when they raise it. Okay, let me go look for it real quick. Okay, let me see. How much did GameStop raise? Um, 21. I think that $2 billion is probably what AMC raised. I think that's what you got confused, sir. Okay. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so 1.6. I was wrong, so I said 1.1. I thought it was 1.1. All right, so this is straight from the source, okay? Straight from the source. So generated sell, $1 billion. When did it say? Let me see. Right here. Raised more than $1.6 billion in capital and eliminate all of the long-term company debt. Okay? They used that money for a good thing, sir. Okay? So at the end of the fiscal year with $1.2 billion. Why? Because they used that money to pay all of his debt, okay? With the exception of that low French loan or whatever from the pandemic. So I think at the time they had like $40 million or something like that on that loan. Now it's non-existent, it's very low. It's still, we still have to pay that loan, but it's, again, the interest on it was so low that it makes no sense to pay it off right now. It makes more sense to use that money, put on the marketable security, earn 5%, 3% or whatever, and then just, slowly but surely pay that off. And we will be able to pay that. But yes, I do apologize. I was wrong. It was not $1.1 billion being raised, but it's $1.6 billion being raised on that share that you're saying. So it's not $2 billion. It's $1.6 billion. So there you go, straight from the source right here. And what did they do that? What did they use that money for? Is to pay off the company debt, all of it. Okay. Right here. So, and they even say it right here too. Oops, sorry. If you look at, so it could show all Winthrop over here. BS. Yes. So this is the paragraph I read. Okay. So there you go. So to your point, you said it went from $2 billion to $1.1 billion, right? It's $1.2 billion, okay? You see this? At the end of fiscal year, for that year that they make money off of shareholder at that time, they still have $1.2 billion cash right there. What is it now, 4 years later? Do you know? You want me to show you, Winthrop? So take notes of the cash right here. 1.2 billion in 2020, right? What do they have now? 1.2. So in 4 years, they have not done anything with the cash, okay? They still have that cash maintained. Again, to cushion the blow, right, of what's going on in the economy. And so they have a moat. It's called a moat, okay? It's like a unbreakable moat over here. So if you don't care about that, if you think that it's still a shit company, then don't touch it. You might get shit all over you. But to say what you're saying without verifying, that's I don't know. I can't imagine you're trying to mislead people. I have this mentality that, hey, maybe most people are good people on this earth. I have a feeling that you're probably misled by somebody yourself. So I'm willing to give you that benefit of the doubt, Winthrop. So because I don't know you, I don't know who you are, I don't know where you come from, but there you go. We are not full period stop screwing retail and Gamestop. They burn money trying to transition and change the company, which is how much money have they burned over the last year? Zip. And now they're profitable, and in the corner, we know that price point is higher than before when they pay dividends. Well, they will pay dividend again, so don't worry about it, okay? It's like, what? As if that's It's public information. Well, this is public information. What public information? I got it straight from the company's website here, investor relation. Right. So I don't know what public information you're seeing. So right here, raised cash, not $2 billion, right? And they still have the same cash position as it was before. And the reason why they use that cash is to pay off company long-term debt. All of it. So, where am I getting this misinformation? So, they have spent half their money and created zero new revenue. So I hope I addressed all of that already. It's not $2.2 billion. No, it's $1.6 billion. Okay. Grape General Cohen, then 5% is going away very soon. That 5% going, and they will need the money from in the future. Yeah, it's probably close to 10 years, maybe, right? I don't know. I could assume. If they could keep that cash still at $1.2 billion, right? You know, they burned, let me see, 60, what is it now? Hold on. Right here. So $69 million in 3 years? Hey, you know, if you could turn a company around and they burn that much, sure. But no, they're not going to go to the shareholder to get any more money because they have enough to operate the company however long they need to, right? With the next year or two, we'll have takeover, well, $2 billion. I believe it. I think, you know, there's an estimate that GameStop would at least, you know, Wall Street is the one that estimate this, $84 million this quarter alone, right? Going to be on the plus side. So we'll see if quarter one's going to do the same. But yeah, zero revenue? What are you talking about? Zero revenue streams? What are you talking about? They're selling goods and services right here. Revenue, it's not zero. It's $5.7 billion currently. $5.7 billion. That's not zero. Like, what are you talking about? Keep saying sales decline. So what? Gross profits up. Like, the same talking point. Like, what the heck? Store are being closed. Have you not seen what's going on in the economy? Have you not seen this? Did you see the UPS part that I talked about? But again, it's the same old. Unprofitable stores that are unneeded due to the former international overextending are closed. That's what Smart's business does to consolidate business, buddy. And e-commerce is what Ryan Cohen is focused mostly. Yep. He's world-class, e-commerce from Chewy. So if you think Chewy is not valuable, that's fine. Don't invest in this company, you know. It's, again, like if you don't realize that Chewy was, a company that was sold to PetSmart for billions of dollars here. And again, it was like IPO'd or something like that. And it was unheard of to sell a company in a high evaluation, at IPO and all that stuff. So it's valuable. Close more, please. Thanks. Consolidate and create more bottom line, smart business profit. Thanks. Yeah. Get right. I know, like, people, like, again, they just focus on the negative, right? They don't understand the bottom line of things. And the silver lining is the fact that, again, the economy is not doing as well as you think it is. And for people to always say, hey, let's expand the revenue. Revenues up means good. Revenues up means good. No. Revenues up means a lot of expenses that you have to be able to maintain when things are good, right? When things are going well in the economy. That's great. Just like what's happening in UPS right now. The reason why they are experiencing the downturn right now, today's earning, is because they were expanding like crazy. They were hiring like crazy, hiring more people than they need, right? Because of the demand of, whatever, money printing. Everybody was printing money, so to speak, right? And what happened? They can't adjust, the workforce enough now that there's no demand whatsoever. So they have to lay off 12,000 people, right? Because management cannot manage this because there's no demand there. So if you don't understand the macroeconomic, you might want to kind of read up on that. So GameStop has been doing great, leadership has, I bet you anything, they have predicted this already 3 years ago. That's why they've been doing slowly, methodically, without, causing any issue. For the company, I'm not talking about the price action here. I know Windrop here thinking about the price action and not thinking about the macroeconomic whatsoever, right? Of course, he's the trader, obviously. I don't know that, but from what he's saying, or from what I've learned so far from his response, I'm willing to say that or make that assumption. So, yeah. I hope you enlighten yourself and stop saying that it's $2.2 billion and they're, spending money like crazy here. And again, the reason why they burn that, that quote unquote burning, they're paying off their own debt, okay, of the whole company. So if that's burning to you, I don't know. It's almost like you're saying, hey, I'm paying off my mortgage here, but I'm burning cash. It's like, well, it's adding to your asset. That's not really burning at all, right? It's like, so the fact that you're just using that term to elicit some sort of like a response from people that they're that leadership of GameStop is doing something frivolous with the money, it's not true, right, to say the least. So I hope people, who are new to my channel really get that. I'm not trying to convince Windrop over here because he's already made up his mind that GameStop is a shitty company. I'm hoping that people who are watching me for the first time is going to at least, gather up the data. Don't just believe people on the chat. Don't just believe me, right? I made mistake just like I just showed you. I did make mistake. I thought it was 1.1 billion. It was actually $1.6 billion. So, case in point, I make mistake too. I'm a human being, right? Just learning as much as I can here. Try not to fall into stupid trap that people are telling me to, buy into SoFi, buy into at the wrong time, right? It's like, okay, good earnings, but the price coming down, right? So just be vigilant out there. There's a lot of people who are trying to mislead you. Only you could decide for yourself what to do with your money. And so be sure that you have all of the information right in front of you first before making any financial decision. So that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm trying to do for myself as well, my own life. And so there you go. What you mean macro have no effects? You think macros would show in 3 years or in decades on end? It's like the fact that you're like, oh, that has no effect. What do you mean macro has no effect? Of course it does. For the company, okay, it has nothing to do with the share price. I know you focus on the share price, but consumer spending less and less. Yes, we know that. So, gaming industry is still a good industry, growing industry, right? Think about when people are depressed at home. What do they do? Just think about that. When they have less money to go out, what do they do? I know what I do. I play games, right? Any games that I could have, my hand on, right? Because again, it's a form of entertainment. You can't go out. You can't spend $100 on a fine and dine with somebody. So you would much rather stay home and play games, right? And so it's the easiest, recession-proof, so to speak. But again, it's remained to be seen, obviously. I'm speculating on that, but when that time comes, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? Right now, I'm just like one quarter at a time here, so we'll see next quarter. We'll see how things go. I'm excited about it because I have a feeling it's going to be a good earnings. If it's not, then we'll see. I'm kind of curious on how those store closing is going to affect the bottom line. So what I'm looking for is obviously revenue. Hopefully, they could maintain that revenue or even higher. Remember, it's on an inflationary price point, so I'm sure it's. I'm hoping that they're beating the expectation on the top line revenue, and then also too the things that I'm looking for as well is the gross profit aspect of it, right? And I just want to remind everybody too that Wall Street. Again, I'm saying this all the time because I'm sure there's a lot of people who be like laughing or whatever. Wall Street actually expecting GameStop to earn 27 a share for this upcoming earnings, right? Now, if the company doesn't make money, why not estimate it to be $0? I dare them to estimate GameStop making $0 this quarter. They won't dare to, right? But I think this expectation here, I bet you anything, it's overinflated, right? But we'll see. I'm sure they're gonna beat that too. Watch. That's my perspective here, based on my speculation on the trajectory of this company. So it's not a facts here, but yeah, it would be fun to see who's right or who's wrong, right? So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna kind of end a little bit, but I'm gonna finish up the comments here. I appreciate every single one of you coming in. Consumer spending less. I think I addressed that already. Mean nothing but bullish thing for dying retail company. Okay, that's your opinion. Thank you for that one. We'll see if it's gonna die, next earnings, right? I might, it might be the long, slow death here, right? For you, for your perspective. But don't bet on the horse. Yeah, you might, put your money on it, right? Why not short the company some more? If that's what you want to do. I know you think it's going to zero, right? Okay, well, put your money on it. Winter main reason here is to feed misinformation, hoping that someone out there will be brainwashed into believing him. Not gonna, yeah, of course. Like again, like he never addressed anything that I've. It's one of those things, right? Again, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt here, but yeah, it seems like more and more I'm convinced that that's what his purpose is. Hey, I guess somebody got to eat, right? Somebody got to make their money somehow. So there you go. Okay, GameStop is not dying. We'll make profit from here no matter what through small business practice. So we lose, get lost. Alright, guys. Gonna be funny when you do show profit and Wall Street doesn't care. So what? Like, as if we need Wall Street to fund this company. Guess what? Ryan Cohen has his own millionaires friends out there that will fund this company. We don't need Wall Street. You know why? Why companies bow down to Wall Street so much is because they need money. Because they're over leveraging themselves to the point where they have to take Wall Street money. And that's what you don't get. It's like, again, like, do you think Wall Street's gonna sit on the sideline when GameStop making billions of dollars at some point in this lifetime? It's like, do you think Wall Street's gonna sit on the sideline? Bullshit. It's like, they're not, and they will come until until Brian Cohen prove them. They're waiting. They're waiting right now to see if Ryan Cohen could prove them wrong. And they will. They will be shocked. They will be like, oh my God, we were wrong about GameStop all along. The same thing that they're saying about Tesla, right? Tesla is a shit company. Tesla it's not going to be profitable and all that stuff. And I'm talking about Tesla 10 years ago, okay, guys? Not right now. The same BS again, like upcoming company, they don't want you to have a hand on it. There you go. So that's my spiel about like whether Wall Street doesn't care or not. Again, GameStop does not need that funding from Wall Street. That's why Brian Cohen doesn't care, about those type of people coming in trying to, screw over, shareholder here, right? And I'm willing to say retail shareholder. If you buy into the share, you are, you will be appreciated by Ryan Cohen. And, I'm sure you're going to say, oh, he doesn't give guidance or whatever. Well, how can he respect shareholders? It's a BS. Like, I don't need him to talk to me to know how great the company is. I could do my own math. So, get lost, right? They buy food. Thanks you for the great information, like always. Thank you. Winthrop GameStop's true fundamental price. A long share is at least $1,000. I'm already a millionaire. It's so easy to hold. Okay. Alright, the fact that Ryan Cohen can invest GameStop money is another... Yes, of course, like again, like they don't really... Of course, like Winthrop doesn't care about that. But yeah, for those people who are new to this channel, GameStop has a lot of avenue to get into, And that whole caveat there, that we could invest those funds for anything, that is another added value, right? The reason why I feel like he hasn't pulled any trigger yet is because, I bet you anything, he's waiting for that market crash, right? But even if there's no market crash, doesn't matter what the Fed is doing. The Fed is speaking tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Whether they're raising rate or lowering rates, GameStop stand to gain either way, right? If the Fed lower the rate, GameStop could expand with that cheap money, okay? However cheap it is, like 0% or whatever, however low, maybe 1% loan, again, for the COVID or whatever, money or whatever. But I think he just doesn't want to over leverage the company's money. He just want to, kind of build that cash position, just like Warren Buffett, right? That's why he was tweeting Warren Buffett by night, Carl Icahn by day or something like that, or maybe something in reverse. So he has those type of investor in mind, and I'm sure he's well aware of all of the investment all of the investment opportunity come along at some point, right? Right now, they're doing great. They're surviving and thriving in this condition right now. So I hope people realize that. And Winthrop over here doesn't get you to believe otherwise. But again, do your own research first, right? Don't believe me. Don't believe Winthrop. Don't believe anybody who write on this channel. Do your own research and you will find so much about this company that is so wrong. That is that the financial media doesn't want you to see. Okay. You gotta to know how to do the balance sheets, obviously, right? That's why I always point that out. This is important. Learn how to do plus and minuses, right? Knows what cash flow positive means, right? Know what net income means, right? Know what revenue means, right? Knows what gross profit means, right? Like all of these are important for you to understand the company at the fundamental level. And so when people are spewing out, say, oh, dilution, okay, you would know there hasn't been any dilution. See this? See this? Now, I'm not sure what this means, like the basic share, it's like fluctuation here. So maybe that has something to do with the ICU, the share being rewarded to board of director or employee or whatever, right? But overall, though, the number of issued share, it's still stayed the same. Outstanding, diluted, right here. So, yeah, 3.5. Okay, all right. Okay, why would he invest that company into the business? Why would he invest? Huh? Winthrop, what the heck? Why does he invest money into the business? Like, why don't you ask him directly? I don't know. Go ask Ryan Cohen directly. You throw better hope and pray that Ryan Cohen doesn't take that company money as well as his own money and locked in the rest of the entire legal float. Bye-bye. Block the float, DRS. There's a movement that Kenny is afraid of. Hey, hi Jay. I'm kind of on the end of my stream here, but I appreciate you showing up. But yeah, I've been here for a long time, so thank you so much. I've been trying to, at least dispel a little bit of misinformation that Winthrop here is trying to spread. But yeah, if you haven't gotten anything out of this stream, I'm sorry, I was distracted earlier too, so I wasn't very coherent in my thought here. I apologize for that. But the caveats of this live stream is that the economy is going bye-bye. No, going bye-bye. I wouldn't say that. But the earnings from UPS was not a really good one. So just brace yourself for that, consumer tightening or was it consumer tightening? Sorry. Brace yourself for the downturn, right? And I'm sure Gamestop price is going to kind of take effects on that too, because again, it seems to be the theme here, right? Because of the low volume, they could scare a whole bunch of people into thinking that, GameStop is going under. Just focus on the company itself. And that's why price doesn't really do much, because eventually fundamentals is going to play out. It might take a long time though. We'll see. Like I said, I'm here for 10 years plan, right? Brian Cohen just got here for 3 years. He has 7 more years to prove me wrong. That's how I looked at this. a playbook from not Ryan Cohen, Warren Buffett, right? And let me say it before I leave this chat. If you're not willing to hold a share or a stock for 10 years, then you have no business of owning a stock, right? Or owning any company stock, right? Because again, you need to seek through or see through the value of the company. If as long as they're doing correctly currently in the present time, heavy cash on hand, no debt, gross profit margin is higher or high at the very least, not burning as much cash, right? $8 million in a year and people are screaming and kicking and all that stuff. Well, look at UPS. What is it? Oh, and diluted shares. There you go. Why don't you scream and shout that UPS is a shit company, Winthrop? What's going on over here, right? Revenue down by 12% right there, right? How much revenue down for GME? 4%, and you kicking and screaming that they're a shit company? See what I mean? But anyway, so that is neither here nor there. Crushing Winthrop's soul, my friend. Oh, thank you. Well, I hope he has some soul, in his body to be crushed. But I hope you turn around. If not, I don't know. I don't know what else to do to help you with that endeavor. But if you're still spreading those information, just make sure spread the right one. Please. At least get the right number so that you could scare people better, in my opinion, right? If you give them facts and you might scare people better than a lie, because then, you might get people to be like, you might be right there, right? So I'm trying to help you out, Winthrop here, okay? But next time, get the facts right. Right? Including myself too. I get the fact wrong as well. So, case in point, don't follow me. Follow your own eye, though. From Ryan Cohen, GameStop leadership must promptly pivot from a brick and mortar. I can't say that word for some reason. Brick and mortar mindset into the technology-driven vision. Woohoo! I feel like that's deserving, a drum roll. Yeah, of course. And I think e-commerce obviously it's the most important things, right? It's like a cost-effective way to make to run a business, right? But I don't think he's gonna be fully e-commerce like all the way. Because the physical footprints does have some value in that. My thought is that he is trying to find the sweet spot. How much shop or how much stores could we keep versus how much store could be cut down, right? Based on the footprints and all that stuff. And again, you could always add more store moving forward, right? But if you could cut to the point where, it makes sense to, in my opinion, obviously I'm not Ryan Cohen. I'm not a business owner either. But, again, just the time period is not a really good time to expand right now. Trust the process, yes. In that letter, Shane, okay, he made fun of the old board of director that have 5 point. Okay, what? Really? That's how you took from the letter? Okay, no wonder you keep coming up with the wrong conclusion here. But okay, you're entitled to that conclusion. GameStop sells video game. That's not true. It will be over $100 million after this quarter before the year is final. I think that's what you mean. $100 million is a lot less than. What are you talking about? We're talking about gross profit. What the heck? You see, like, this is why you're just crazy. There's a difference between gross profit. Are you talking about? Oh my God! Like, I'm gonna be here like 10 hours just doing this, but I think it's good though. At least I get some practice. All right, so old leadership, okay, so yes, the revenue was $8 billion. All right, right there. But look how much they get to keep. Look how much gross profit. This is gross profit. Gross profit. Okay. But look how much they get to keep. Do you see this? In the negative. Okay. So the fact that you're saying that they're losing money of whatever, or $100 million versus $5 billion, are you saying that GameStop used to make $5 billion, $5.9 billion? Old leadership? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, what? Their net, I think the most net that they had was like $700 million in 1 year. So this is okay, let's go net here, okay? So this is what we care about most, because that's accounting for everything. Of course, other metric is also a good measurement as well. But let's go back to old leadership, okay? So this is old leadership. I'm seeing $400 million in trailing 12. So that's the most money that is being made by GameStop. Okay, so let's see. So this is net, okay? Net income, $400 million net income. And that's when 2016. Sorry. So 2016, they made $400 million. Are you saying that we won't ever hit that price point? But guess how much gross profit back then was? 2.8 or whatever. Hold on. What is the profit margin? Okay, so profit margin at the time was higher than this. So right now we are at 24, and again, this is a trailing 12, okay? So we are working ourselves to that point right there. So mark my word, they're gonna hit it. Not this quarter, maybe in a couple years. With a lower revenue stream. So even if we're making $5 billion and all that stuff, $5.7 billion right now, our gross profit margin is 24%. So we need to get back to 31% in that time frame right there. So that's the most money that they ever made in net profit, right? I think Ryan Cohen could do better with what he has. Currently, again, it's being proven right in front of your face, just like Sean is saying. Trust the process. I believe in Ryan Cohen. I believe in the leadership is doing correctly, like everything correctly. Like I said, he has 7 more years to prove me wrong. So far so good for me. Right. But anyway, so that was just me ranting there. I will destroy you, level 1. You hold me already lost. Oh my god. Alright, I'm talking about 7 million plus profit, but I think you mean like net income, right? Yeah. For 50, $500 million. Yeah. So next year will be 300 million to 500 million. Yeah, I believe that. I will go, the lower end. Even at $100 million a year, we're still making it. Again, it's at least we're making money, hundreds of millions of dollars. And, Wall Street will come. Don't worry about it. They will stampede into this company like no other. You think they don't care about making money? Hundreds of millions of dollars every year? You think they don't care about that? And again, Ryan Cohen has his own groupies of millionaires out there that have money to fund whatever his investment is, right? Right now, it's just there's no opportunity yet, right? Because everything is overinflated. So, imagine if Meta comes down to from 400 to, I don't know, lower valuation, $50, right? At the crash. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm just assuming. GameStop could just use that $1 billion or $2 billion at that point in time. I'm sure they're going to build that cash position over the year and just stash it in a marketable security, and until the Fed stop raising rate or lowering it to 0%, that's when you pull the trigger, right? And so, there's no way that GameStop would lose in the company side, right? Price point, again, it could do whatever it does. And, yep. Anyway, I'm going to be here for 10 hours, you guys. So let me finish the whole thing and I'm going to get going, you guys. So, no imagine anybody you are seeing, supposed to be seeing the truth. We will not be denied, and GameStop will win. Because I don't need to convince. I don't need convincing. Where I ain't leaving, you stole retail money, and okay. I don't know who says these. I know. It seems like I didn't. I went job. I don't know, dude. I don't know what else I could say to you to convince you otherwise. But yeah, just be sure, people who are watching this, be sure to get your own facts. Don't believe anything. I mean, I'm gonna be fair here, Jay. I know I agree with you. But, anything that is being written on the comments, again, these are good discussion for you to get into. But the best thing that you could do for yourself is to research the company for yourself, right? Don't believe anything in the chat. And you will do fine. That's just how investing works, right? Companies research, company leadership, company balance sheet. Does it make sense to you? And if not, don't put money in it, right? Because this is your future, right? So there you go. All right, that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate all of you. I will be back tomorrow.